How often do you get a chance to define the way that you're remembered by an entire generation all in one night? At work, you get at least 5 at-bats a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. With boxing, you'd be lucky if you get 2 in a given year. For Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, this was the biggest night of both of their careers. For Crawford, he was undefeated, never lost, but he didn't have enough of the significant wins on his resume for you to say, oh, he's better than Mayweather, he's better than Ali, he's better than Frazier, all of these GOATs on the pedestal. In boxing, oftentimes how good you are is defined by your biggest fight. For Canelo, most people defaulted to him being the GOAT of the generation. For most of his career, the only person who beat him was Floyd Mayweather, when he was at the beginning of his career and Mayweather was at the end. He dominated all up and down his division and was the pride and joy of Mexico. Easily the greatest Mexican boxer of all time. And he had the significant wins, the iconic battles with other people who were trying to be in that GOAT conversation. But Crawford loomed, and many people were asking, why are you ducking the person who may just be better than you? So they gave us what we wanted. Crawford moving up multiple weight classes to take on Canelo in a term that is very rarely used in fighting. We got what is called a super fight, when you get the best 2 fighters of a generation to match up against each other. This is extremely rare. This is that Mayweather-Pacquiao that people were clearing their calendars to go see. The Ali-Frazier, where people couldn't wait to crown the greatest boxer of all time. Thanks to Netflix securing the rights to it, millions and millions of people were able to watch this go down from the comfort of their homes. Post-Mayweather, the only fights that have demanded attention in this way from the boxing world to breach into pop culture have been the Paul brothers. Jake and Logan Paul, who brought eyes to their boxing mostly on the merit of their social media careers, not because they're the greatest boxers that you can find. So of course, when they announced that this rare super fight was taking place, I made sure I was seated for this event. It took place in Nevada, in the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium, countless celebrities ringside, glitz, glam, top-tier production, and they got straight to it. There were only 4 fights on the card, and after 3 were down, the night was set up for something that we will never forget. I expected Canelo to win because his resume was so decorated, and I saw him dominate so many fighters throughout his career. But it was a true 50-50 fight. So the bell rang, and it was time to find out who is the best boxer of my generation. And that question was answered in a matter of minutes as Crawford lunged in and immediately brought the pressure to Canelo. Crawford, this is a guy who was shot in the head and drove himself to the hospital to get stitches. This is no average Joe. He knew what he came to do: cement his legacy that he worked so hard to build. So while Canelo is this methodical fighter who usually waits and picks his punches, Crawford was giving him punches and bunches all night long. 5-hit combo, 10-hit combo, 3-hit combo, 1 to the body, 1 to the head, 2 to the body, 1 to the head, 2 to the head, 1 to the body, as he danced around Canelo, giving shades of, dare I say, the floating like a butterfly that Muhammad Ali spoke of. And he danced all night. Canelo would land these big punches on him clean, and it looked like it didn't do any damage at all. In front of 70,000 people, he's too big, he's too strong, he's too fast. And I'm watching as Crawford is literally shaking his head, nope, that didn't hurt me, as he's getting hit by Canelo. He's laughing in Canelo's face when Canelo would land 1 and he would return 3. From round 1 to 12, even though he might have lost a couple of rounds, he otherwise outboxed the greatest boxer of my generation up until Saturday night. He took the crown off his head and ended the night with the judges crowning him the winner by decision, and Max Kellerman, the announcer at the event, crowning him the best boxer of his and my generation. Greatness was beholded that night, and my appreciation for a great boxer grew stronger. How many times in your life do you get to define your legacy in one moment like that? For you to get that opportunity, seize it, and become a champion, that is quite literally the fabric that dreams are made of. Whether he never fights another fight again or they decide to rematch, what went down Saturday night was history. Nothing more, nothing less.